Tendercare describes itself as the, quote, front door to elder care, a platform offering resources and support for families navigating caregiving, inspired by the founder's own experience caring for her dad. Joining me now is Shauna Sweeney. She is the founder and CEO of Tendercare. Shauna, welcome.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
So what is Tendercare and what problem is it solving?
Well, in 2013, my dad, Mike, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. This is when I was working in tech. And because he raised me as a single parent, it was us. And I became his primary caregiver almost immediately. This was really difficult. I realized firsthand this is death by 1,000 paper cuts for any family member trying to help someone else go through the process of aging or living with an illness. I was up late at night, 2 a.m. Googles, and I realized this was so fragmented and there was an absence of technology. So Tendercare is the answer to this problem for anyone out there who's taking care of a loved one. It is the first national trusted marketplace for elder care. And we also offer a single secure place for families to get educated and get organized.
All right, so if I am using the platform, what is my experience? What is the user interface like?
First, all of our tools are totally free for families. You can come to trytendercare.com and you can just go ahead and put in Find Help. Find Help immediately brings you into an AI co-pilot intake that starts to ask you really smart questions as if it was a social worker about what's going on for your family. Every family is different. You start to answer these and we start to create a bit of a profile on what is going to be most important for you and your family for a care plan and who are the most important trusted providers in the area that are actually going to be able to step in right away and help you out.
And you mentioned that taking care of your dad, Mike, inspired you to start this platform. And I understand that the people that work for you are also caregivers to grandparents and parents. Yeah. How does that impact the business to have people that are really living this experience?
This is real. It's not theoretical. Those of us who are working on Tendercare come from all different parts of the tech sector, from healthcare. We've chosen to solve this because we recognize how broken this is within our own families. It makes the stakes very high. It also makes it very gratifying because most of us are actively living through the problems like discharge from a hospital, a fall. What happens to make the house secure on the other side of that as we build the products that we're making available for free to everybody else?
So that informs the business really because you're actually having this experience. And you mentioned artificial intelligence. How is that integrated into the platform and what problem is that solving?
You know, I think there's a lot of focus right now on artificial intelligence being used for automation, a lot of back-end work. We're applying this technology to something much more human. How do we all support each other as we age? We all have mothers, fathers, grandparents, spouses, maybe even ourselves. And we use artificial intelligence in two key ways. The first is on intake. So really being able to quickly identify through a series of questions that increasingly narrow down what the biggest problem it is that you're currently facing. Maybe it's trying to relocate your mom from one state to the next. Maybe it's grappling with a new diagnosis, a new emergency that's landed a loved one into the ER. We use AI to be able to very quickly get to the right solution for your family. And the second is really exciting. It's around how we use all of the data that our families are trusting with Tendercare, our health information, our financial information, our legal information, to actually create an aging profile that proactively predicts how can we age better? What are the options that are ahead of you that you can now decide between in a peaceful moment rather than on the other side of a crisis?
And in our last minute together, what will growth look like for Tendercare in 2026? And what is your hope for the platform?
We're so excited about this. We're talking about an entire economy that's been largely fragmented and invisible. How do we age well at home? What I'm most excited about Tendercare right now is stitching together this fragmented economy into one simple place for families to come, find help. Instead of 6 months on the other side of a diagnosis, running around looking for answers, you immediately now, in 48 hours, have a real plan and 3 trusted providers you can immediately have show up at your door and start to help you. So we're very excited about bringing this to the public, making this available, and bringing all of the best and the most trusted providers onto our platform.
Thank you, Shauna Sweeney, founder and CEO of Tendercare, for joining us at NYSE Live.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for your mission.
Appreciate Appreciate it.